going to do the pledge?
I don't think so. We have an agenda here with the public hearing coming first for the local income tax ordinance adoption. I'll call the public hearing to order. If we have any comments from the public, please do so now. None. I'll close the public hearing and ask if there's any questions or comments from the council.
What ordinance number would we use?
Oh my gosh. Got it upstairs, y'all.
Well,
I'm sorry.
you're back. You take your time. While I'm here.
I like 10F.
What?
Well,
Can we go ahead and just move? I would move that we, excuse me. Go ahead.
well, I just
Wait
wanted to ask
questions.
the two attorneys that there's some changes that have been marked out and so forth. Would it be okay if Mary initials it? Would that work? The changes?
The auditor corrected all of them.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I don't see
okay.
anything crossed out.
Okay,
Yeah, not in the one.
I was gonna say
I
there
hadn't
shouldn't be
gotten
any
that
other
yet.
The
changes.
final copy in our packet is the corrected copy. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Well, I was behind the eight ball on
and
that.
to Sarah, and I
I'm
did
going to
check
go
it out
ahead
this
and read
morning.
into the minutes, and so it's for the public, that the 2025 GO bond is an amount of $5 million, with $1.1 million allocated for the Hancock House, $750,000 allocated for E911, $800,000 allocated to the Sheriff's Department, which includes needs to purchase essential equipment for the department and the replacement of aging patrol cars and to maintain reliable, safe, and effective law enforcement services, and $3.85 million for a new Hancock County government building to be rented out by the Sheriff's Department. So now we do have an ordinance number.
2025-10F.
How
Before we
about that? I told you. That's what I said.
proceed, did we open and close the public hearing? And
Yeah.
It has already been open and closed.
I thought you said it. I just want to be extra sure it happened so fast. And then the only other thing, I'm sure it's addressed, but the special purpose rate, is that affected at all by the conversations we've recently had with the library?
No.
Then
So
that's
that
all my
was-
questions.
-10 dash what?
F.
as in Frank.
F is in Frank.
So do we have any other questions or comments from council? I'll call for.
I move that we approve ordinance number 2025-10-F.
I'll second. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Were you done?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Gosh, there's so much paper going in here. The next,
You want to get Bill?
Yeah, he's in that little room.
Sarah, quick question.
He's in that little room.
everybody's out. Okay.
He's in that little room right there talking to the highway
I
department.
just
I think,
need a
or something.
copy
Sarah,
of
would
it
you
too.
mind asking Bill or telling Bill that we're ready
Yeah.
for him whenever he's ready?
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm here on behalf of Commissioner Gray, who had requested that we increase the amount that we give to animal control with Greenfield for this budget cycle to $465,000. They're still working on the numbers to make it a fair and equitable solution by 2026, where the city will know how much they need to pay for animal control. The county unincorporated would know how much they would have to pay for animal control, and then the municipalities would know how much they would have to pay for animal control.
I pulled the 2026 proposed budget, and I saw that we had proposed a certain amount and reduced it, and I can't recall why we reduced it at that time. Maybe it was in anticipation of the municipalities' participation, but with that not being done as of yet, then it makes sense that we our share until we get that worked out.
So if 465 is a good number, that was a number that was suggested by Ray to support our animal control payment.
Yeah. And we were at 443, right?
Right.
In the budget, so it's a $22,000 difference approximately. And they're not arguing over the philosophy of we should, my understanding, and this is a question, that I don't think they are arguing over whether our fair share is for the unincorporated areas only. It's the inaccuracies in counting what is unincorporated, what numbers they've got for unincorporated versus the incorporated, or the incorporated areas minus Greenfield. So they're still working the numbers, right, Bill?
Yes, that's correct.
Annexations happening all over. That's always going to be a moving number.
So I don't know
Well-
how we deal with that end, but I think it's one of those things every year you're going to have to go back and find out who was annexed and what. There's probably some model that can be created to figure that out.
And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, with us already adopting the 2026 budget, that what we would have to do now is just give us thumbs up that we're going to do this for the 2026 budget come January. And can't make a motion to increase it today because we cannot increase the budget after we've adopted it.
Wait till
I think
January?
that's right. I think we have to wait till I think.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
then that should be fine because they're not gonna spend $443,000 January 1. That's already budgeted.
Right.
Adding the 20-some thousand to it.
One thing I'd like to look at as the discussions continue, and we've been saying for years that we're on the cusp of working out the municipalities. So I don't know if we can draw a line in the sand on figuring it out in the next cycle. But one thing I would be really interested in, if you can just make note when you're provided data, is what the cost per run actually breaks out to. You know, they operate animal control, we chip in our share, but is it $1,000 an animal? You know what
I
I'm
think that's
saying?
been
Like,
done.
that's,
I think it
That
has.
has been done. I attended a meeting with Janine at McCordsville at the time, and the discussion was with how much time and running into McCordsville was going on, and there just couldn't seem to be an agreement reached at that time as to what was a fair number. And so it never moved forward, so it's
Well,
just still an
I
ongoing
think I've
discussion.
got the numbers here that we could
So
do
we can
that.
bring that all up at.
because at some point, do we also say, you know, not to exceed X dollars per run? Because when I left the city council and came here, I had been part of, yes, we need a new building. Yes, we need to be better staffed. Yes, these people aren't paid that, you know, fairly.
And we
And
need
so
new
we
trucks.
increased the budget, and then I came over here, and it's like, the city of Greenfield just raises, you know, without recognizing that other people have to chip into that, and that can be true. And the first round of numbers they did a few years ago, being in Spring Lake, that's very small, we had one run, and I can't remember the number, but what they said Spring Lake owed for one run made me go, how much are we letting animal control cost per animal? You
I
know?
believe the numbers that they're looking at, and you can correct me, Bill, is these smaller municipalities are not included in what is being considered an amount we're trying to collect in the future from the larger municipalities, say the town of Shirley or Wilkinson.
Well, nobody's
They're
been
all-
included in that yet. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all been the city of Greenfield and Hancock County.
I mean, going out and actually having meetings and discussions. It's been with the larger municipalities.
Yeah, I think we discussed that some of the Spring Lake, for instance, may not even have that in their budget. Some of the really small ones that
Right.
we could possibly cover them.
Yeah, and I'm not even suggesting that Spring Lake shouldn't have their fair share in the budget, but what I'm saying is, you know, if, since we don't control the budget itself, then, okay, we agree, we get the municipalities out, we all agree to a number, but then 3 years from now, is that number where, runs went up 25%, but our share went up 50%, like where is the control in how much we will commit even for our share if we have no control of the budget itself? What are the precautions?
They're the numbers, you can
Oh,
get
yeah.
them off the
I
numbers.
can say that for 7 years, we've been arguing about this issue. We've had several iterations of negotiations as to what the county should pay. And then previous administrations have requested and gotten some information on where these runs are happening. But there is, some argument there that the county's paying a lot for what it really is getting for the animal control.
But some runs are probably for horses and some runs are for rabbits and I mean,
It's the problem with it is I think it's, breaking it down and understanding exactly how it's gonna be allocated based on some information that might or might not be accurate. So we've had that issue too.
Yeah, it's not a draw a line in the sand. It's just the goal has been for the last few years is to figure out how to stabilize the cost and include the other people that are responsible.
Yeah.
And they're still on that goal. I think they're closer now than they've ever been.
We
to
did
trying to
send
get-
letters out at one time.
Right. But
Did things like that,
it's-
and I think you all met with different, government officials there in those municipalities.
To make an example, in '22, it's easy math. Spring Lake had one run, so that says they should pay $840, so $840 a run. By 2023, they had 3 runs, and that comes out to $945 per run. So, at what point do we go, okay, well, the cost of having a building, utilities, et cetera, divide that by runs, and then you got 2 people spending 2 hours with a vehicle and some fuel that have been, can it get up to $1,500 per run of costs that we're not paying attention to how the system itself is staffed and, where we end up paying a lot per run? I just hope we can look at some way to be cognizant of that going forward in the calculation.
I don't think a run is, there are all kinds of runs, so
Yeah, I
they
think-
may go out and have to
You
chase
guys have a study
wild
group that
dogs
you're
all over
working
the
towards a
place,
goal
or
of having
pick
some
up a
numbers
rabbit,
available for next year, correct?
Yes, Janine and the mayor and whoever else is involved in that. Yes, and you can just tell, like right now, how challenging it is. Here it is, we're 7 years down the road and we still haven't been able to nail this down. So
But we have made progress in that Greenfield does recognize that, I think that we want to be responsible, and they agree that we, in a fairness act, we should only be responsible for the unincorporated areas. So
Right.
we have made progress.
Yeah, I think
It's
we're closer
now a
than we
matter
were.
of
Right, the end goal is still, like you say, it's to have the city pay for its share, the county to pay for its unincorporated share, and other municipalities who are part of that system pay that share as fair and as equitably as we can figure.
And for the taxpayers looking at animal control, it makes sense, doesn't it, for there to be one animal control organization and everybody else contribute rather than having animal control in this
every
little
city.
town, that little town. Just like E911, we merged 2 into 1 for long-term lower costs.
Okay, for today,
And
then, we'd like to
senior
just give a thumbs
services.
up to agree that we will fund animal control in the amount of $465,000 and handle that at our January meeting. Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Everybody? Good? So we have a majority for that. Indigo, that is an invoice, correct? Sarah? That's, okay? Yes. Morning.
Morning. So before I start, hello, everybody. HCSS was given a $150,000 check from the city of Greenfield. That was in ARPA money. So I'm the one who actually does the quarterly reports for HCCS with NDOT and Indigo. And I just wanted to let the council know that we did receive them, they received a check as our subrecipient for 150. And I've asked them on future invoicing to line item that ARPA, so we're not commingling federal funds, which is really important. So that money has to be paid before the end of 2026. Typically, every quarter, it's around 133 to 140,000. So that should probably balance out by the first quarter of next year. So we should be good on that 150 that you guys had asked the city for. if
Are
that
they
makes sense.
committing to do the same then in '26?
That I don't know. I was just following the chain of that 150 because I was trying to figure out how we were going to report that when it's Indigo, federal, and ARPA money. So, but I've asked them just not to invoice it, but to report, so I can report each quarter, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to everyone? I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing.
Deb provided a breakdown, it should be there in your packet, that there was an insurance reimbursement that was deposited into the general fund, and that what we're talking about today is just a balance
Those are two
due.
separate things. And oh, there you go. Thank you. So the second reason I'm here is I'm requesting that this invoice be paid, and we will need an agreement created by Indigo, but I need a fund number. So the reason I'm showing you this quietus is because in 2024, there was a van that Senior Services had destroyed. We received this check for $38,500. And then Gary Poole filed for a grant, which was granted. So you have the granted grant, you have the invoice, and you have the invoice. The invoice is for $40,441. If you subtract that 38.5 from that, plus the grant money, we should only roundabout have around 1,900 really that's due out of that 40. I just need to get approval for the invoice, and I need a fund that it's going to come out of. But the actual quietus actually went into the general fund, so I didn't know if we needed to follow that general fund.
And you're needing an additional $1,941 to pay the total, correct?
No, well, the invoice is for 40.
We need the full amount. I don't
Need the
think we've
full amount,
appropriated any of
but
it.
I'm just letting you
No, but
know,
I want to know what the I'm trying to get to the total.
total is 40,000,
441.
yeah, $40,441.
And the reimbursement was already
38.5.
deposited into the general fund. So we're talking about an additional of $1,941 with knowing that part of it's already sitting in the general fund.
Correct.
Okay.
I
that's
just
what
need a funding number so Indigo can create a agreement for the grant for Bill to sign and get this invoice paid.
So we'll thumbs up today to advertise for additional appropriation from general fund number, what's general fund's number? 1001 for $40,441 for senior services. Thumbs up, right?
Is that what you want today, Sarah? And then authorize that then the invoice be paid through the general fund once the additional has been appropriated.
Okay?
And just as a note, next year, this all should be clear in that we set up senior services with its own fund, so it won't be going in the general fund. So if we have insurance stuff or whatever, it'll go back and forth in that fund, so we can watch it. And we put $600,000 in it. And if like Greenfield pays their 150 directly to them. It will just allow our fund to accumulate.
It's not a motion, we just thumbs up to average.
Yep, thumbs up.
We're gonna advertise to do it.
That is everything that was listed on our agenda. Is there anything that the council wanted?
Could I just mention that some of you participated in the S&P rating call, and we did get the results of that, and we continue with a AA plus rating. And I think the bond, Robin, you
Yes,
say
the
is
bond
being
sales supposed
sold
to be today,
today,
I believe.
back on the GO bond, the $6.5 million GO
When will we
bond.
know the rate? When will we know the rate?
After it's sold,
But what's the date? Do we have a date? Do we know when that's going to be?
today it's being sold.
It's going to be sold today, so we'll know the
I think
rate
so.
after today. So we'll know before our next meeting.
We have to,
By the budget meeting?
oh yeah, we hold budget meetings. Yeah, we have to promote the,
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
it was quite
Meeting
the.
adjourned.
You were ready.
Right, I got another meeting.
Well, and